Missives of Sable. I'd like to see what these pages hold. But that needs to wait. Keep that shroud on it. The time has come. While you did this, I finally learned who the Hierophant is. Argene of Sun Camp. We're taking her down, Dove. All of us. One last plan, one last job. The biggest we'll ever pull. I know now. I've had my suspicions, and the last one has been put into place. The Hierophant is Argene of Sun Camp. I've told Argene that I know her secret, and now she's asked to meet me in the ruins beneath Sun Camp. While we're there, you're going to plant the missives on Argene, and the gnomes will have her in chains, like she would have done to me. Argene tried to hand me to the gnomes for stealing the Missives of Sable, a book they value greatly. Only you saved my life. She tried to do the same to you and Phasma in Rhythm. After that, we started putting my true plan in motion. I found the Missives of Sable and found the Hierophant's identity. Now, we'll frame her for the crime she tried to have me killed for. Too easy for one. Even if this started with a need for vengeance, the plan's grown bigger than that. Argene's leveraged her powers to become nearly a goddess for the Travellers. We need to show them all the truth. When word spreads of the Hierophant's arrest, they'll know for certain that their faith was misplaced. The meeting with Argene's a front. While I keep her occupied, you, Krilgaren and Phasma will be able to move unrestricted. Where we're going is the Hierophant's lair. It's likely got some enchanted defences. Krilgaren will be there to help with those. Meanwhile, Phasma will lead the gnomes to the ruins. You plant the missives on Argene, and the gnomes will take her away while the world watches. Phasma's got the tricky part. He's going to lead the gnomes to the ruins beneath Sun Camp. That way, once you plant the missives on Argene, the gnomes will move in and take her down. I'm the bait. I told Argene that I would expose her identity to the Travellers, so she would ask to hold court with me. With luck, I'll have her gaze long enough to let you plant the Missives of Sable on her. Krilgaren will be your support. The Fae have many powers and sensitivities. I figure she'd be best suited to helping you. I doubt Argene would invite me without having some form of security. Krilgaren will help you get past them, so you can plant the missives on her. Good. To keep the element of surprise, you'll be using a secret entrance to the ruins. It's one of the graves in Sun Camp. Once you're in, meet with Krilgaren. Now, we've got to move. Do your part, and hopefully we'll see the end of this job. It seems that the Hierophant made themselves a little hideaway beneath Sun Camp. It's a monument to her abuses, her power. We'll topple that place as well as her. In an Arathi ruin beneath Sun Camp. I suppose the place is the Hierophant's retreat. I discovered it while you were in the Odessa vaults. I made you a secret entrance. One of the graves in Sun Camp will drop you right into the ruins. See you there.
At last, I can speak with Grimm's fateless ally with my true voice, and your meaningless plan is exposed. These ruins are full of travelers faithful to the Hierophant, who will kill any and all who intrude. This ends now. My powers may fluctuate around you, but they are not robbed of me. I could see enough of Grimm, Phasma, and Krilgaren to learn this plan. I tried to end your life once. I underestimated you clearly. Now I want to form a peace between us. I could use your skill. Frame Grimm for stealing the Missives of Sable. You are not but a tool to him since he first approached you in Star Camp anyways. I suppose you believed it to be mere coincidence that it was Grimm who first recruited you into the Travelers. Grimm is crude and cruel, but with a bestial cleverness. He learned you were fateless, no doubt, long before the two of you met. He planned this rebellion long before Own's stand. He only waited until the perfect weapon to fight me appeared, and that weapon is you. Yes, yours is a fate I cannot read. I told you as much when first you prayed to me in Star Camp. I thought you were an aberration, but I'm coming to believe that you are instead a harbinger of times to come. Nature might cast us as opposites, as foes, but I believe together we might lead the travelers to a golden age. So you claim, but I can see the threads of fate do not guide you. Nothing is decided. Think on my offer and take this. It is a key to the wings of the Hierophant's court, my sanctum. It is where I will meet Grimm. Grimm will be in the East Wing, remember that. Grimm is in the East Wing. Do the right thing, or face my wrath.
You have come. I was concerned, for Arjin has not come to this ruin unprepared. There appears to be many guards loyal to the Hierophant roaming this hall. There is also a strange enchantment not far beyond here. But they are not insurmountable with a quiet pace. She has contacted you? Grimm believed he had her fooled, but her skills are greater than we ever thought. But so is her hubris. That key she gave you can be used to reach Arjin as well as Grimm. She will be in the western wing of the court. But to reach her, you will need to bypass a strange trap, one that watches the way with eyes unblinking. There's a magic sentry that watches over the path to the court, a statue called the Watcher. If it catches you, it will sound an alarm. But you can blind it. Extinguish the torches in its chamber and its gaze will be lost. The torches lie in its gaze, so the only way to snuff them is with a bag of winds, which the guards carry. Use it before entering the chamber and you'll be fine. Though it is magical in nature, it still relies on sight. If you could blind it, then you could walk in the shadows unseen. There is an item on a nearby guard that would be of use, a bag of winds. Using it, you could snuff the torches and plunge the room in darkness. I've come to lend what aid to Grimm's fight that I can. I feel a duty to see him safely to the end of this. There's a magic sentry that watches over the path to the court, a statue called the Watcher. If it catches you, it will sound an alarm. But you can blind it. Extinguish the torches in its chamber, and its gaze will be lost. The torches lie in its gaze, so the only way to snuff them is with a bag of winds, which the guards carry. Use it before entering the chamber, and you'll be fine. I am far from its woods, and I miss it. I hope they are well outside of my presence. Long it has been known that there were Arathi artifacts in Sun Camp, but I did not suspect a complex beneath the soil. No one did. You have lived enough of our ways to understand, perhaps. The Hierophant is the ruler of the travelers, as you know. Where is the freedom in acquiescing to another's will? We profit from the Hierophant's wisdom, but pay for it in service. It is a high cost. You need to steal a bag of winds from one of these guards. It will let you pass the Watcher, the stone sentry of the Hierophant's court.
Arjin's hold over the travelers is broken. The Hierophant is gone. The travelers will never be the same. You are like the travelers of ages past. I name you one among their number. They'll sing songs of you forever as the chariot. No jail will hold you. And since you've used the Shroud of Omission so well, I figured you could make some use of this.
Criathnock Thintri, the Fae call it. Sky-crowned mountain. It's beautiful, isn't it? Like stars across the night sky, the varied elements of magic arrange themselves throughout our world in different patterns. This place is a convergence of one such pattern, a focus of the energies of air and light. Exactly so. This place is to lightning what Aod is to fire, or Sadeus is to ice. Your power has grown so much in so short a time. It is astonishing, really. I am proud to have guided you this far. At first, I thought I could contain her, that I could keep her at bay. But I was vain. Her power is vast, and she is tireless. Ever since your initiation trial, she has been worming deeper into my mind. She made me wait until you arrived. I cannot fight her any longer, so I must try to end it here.
This mage was
Clever. It took a great effort to break his mind, and at the last moment he sought to deny my victory. Unfortunately for you, he failed. Are you beginning to see the pattern, child? From flame and frost and storm I take my form. Who am I? How could you possibly understand the music that I move to? Does the hurricane explain to the reed why it roars? I am the hurricane, and you are nothing more than a reed, stubborn, unbent, and soon broken. I have eaten the fruit of Irminsul, the Tree King, and sown blood into the fields of Aesir Danon. I have sucked marrow from the bones of Irathi, and listened to the laments of dying stars. I am the Empyrean, the dark-hearted, the Lady of Sorrow and Dust. I will not bow to your will.
Good, you're back. As much as I'm dying to know what transpired atop Skycrown, that'll just need to wait until the Archsage is through with you. He requested you join him in his quarters, just around the corner down the hall.
At last. I had hoped you'd come sooner. The curse is strong. That you are here at all is a godsend. The creature that has stalked the minds of our savants, Nuala, Kadok, and Ethan. She is here. She has come for me, at last. The possession she used on the savants you encountered, I tried to fend her off. Though I stand before you, the sorceress has begun usurping other parts of my mind. I retained a part of myself and made the glyph that took you here. When we met in Talarain, I knew then that Savant Inga was right about you. Maybe too right. It is more than chance, Adept, that has brought you into contact with this sorceress before. And it's more than luck, I think, that you survived each encounter. She is the one that has stalked the minds of our greatest mages. But there is a more troubling history than that. Once I have been freed, there will be plenty of time to discuss her true nature. I am not the Archsage without cause. I had prepared myself for this manner of attack. It is how I can speak with you now. She is assuming control of my uncontrolled thoughts. I cannot venture out of this sanctum, lest I fall to her. You must thwart her plans. Take this, the true history of our order. It is the only help I can give you now. As the Archsage, I've trained myself to withstand attacks to my mind. Her previous attempts were weak, not as immediate as this. She does not target my conscious self now. She instead moves to conquer my repressed flaws, my misguided thoughts, and she will exploit them in time. I have been following what has happened to the savants that conducted your initiation. Those poor souls. If this dark sorceress is done with them, she must have learned all she could. She must be near her goal. If you wish to return to my chambers in Rathir, I will accommodate you. But do not wait too long to return. I need your help to defeat this curse. Return as soon as you can, Adept.
You are too late, child. Even if you halt my ensnarement of the Archsage's mind, I have already accomplished what I needed. I have seen all that I need to see, and you have served your purpose well. This body is the incarnation of the Archsage's goals and ideals. For all his aspirations, the man is a slave to his discipline. It is a pity. Had I the time to foster some of these ambitions, he would make a useful pawn, just like you. Do you not understand, child? It was your initiation that freed me. The magic of the spell could not find your potential, and so it chose the greatest power this world has ever known. Ah, but you have not seen his thoughts like I have. I have delved into the man's aspirations. They are laughable. They leave him disregarding the reality of his pitiful situation. Even on this hill, you see all the parts of himself he ignored. The sacrifices he made to become the arch-sage he thinks he is. And they shall rise again. Taste his ambition! I see that my attempts to take hold of the arch-sage's ambitions were less than successful. Not that he cares. There are, after all, so many flaws for me to hook into, to exploit. Already I have gleaned from his thoughts all I need. Perhaps you would like to know his feelings towards me, Ciara Sedanus? In all the minds I have seen, there have been none that carried such indifference as this arch-sage. Does he care about the wars that wage across his land? No. Does he care for the lives of his subordinates? Not in the slightest. He long ago surrendered to the inevitability of my return. Yes, I am the tyrant queen of the Dark Empyrean. The fools of the Scholia Arcana believe I was killed, but the Arch-Sage knows the truth. It is, perhaps, why he has surrendered all hope. He knows I cannot be defeated, only delayed. Indeed, I had much the same thought. It is so small and boring, after all. He resigns himself to a singular fate, and this apathy that ensues, it is absolute. He truly cares nothing for his subordinates, or his home. I wish to enjoy this sensation more. So instead of me, you shall face some of this man's nightmares.
I no longer feel the prying of Sedanus on my mind. You have freed me of her. Thank you, Adept. By freeing me of her influence, I can distill for you those thoughts you have liberated. From my ambition, I can impart to you an indomitable resolve. From my indifference, I can craft a fearless impartiality. The choice is yours. I am the Arch-Sage, but I am also a human. There were certain flaws of character that I had repressed. Sedanus intensified those flaws until they threatened to overcome me. By destroying them, you freed me of these flaws. I can give you the knowledge of this freedom. From my indifference, I can impart to you a sense of fearlessness. Through ambition, you can gain a will to strive for perfection. In many ways, they seem similar, but to you, the effects are disparate. A quality you certainly do not lack, but I think you will require every last ounce of our metal to see this through to the end. Now, are you prepared to leave? We have much ahead of us when we return to my quarters. Good. When we return, speak with me. The sorceress will not be suffered any longer. I am sure you have questions, and I shall do my best to answer them. First, let me say this. No adept in the history of the Scholia Arcana has earned the Savant's Ring more than you. Take it with my gratitude. Now prepare yourself. The time for suffering the predations of our enemy is at an end. It is our turn to strike. Savant Ingar was a dear friend. and one of the Scholia Arcana's most powerful assets. His loss will be felt by all within the Order. There is little else we can do but summon her. It might seem foolish, but if we do not try here, we will surely fail later. Dark times are upon us, Savant. The tragedies recently befallen our most powerful members speaks to a greater conspiracy at work. I should have acted sooner. I should have seen what was coming. I promise you this. I will do what is necessary to keep the Order from being destroyed, whatever the cost. It is time for you to learn the truth of our Order. The truth of Sierra Sardanis and the fall of the Dark Empyrean. Sierra Sardanis was never killed, Savant. She was imprisoned within the very stones of Rithia. Because of you, she has awakened, and though trapped, she has proven formidable. Now to destroy her, we must release her. When Ethan Engar cast the ritual for your initiation trial, he created a magic whose purpose was to conjure that which could challenge your potential. None could have anticipated that, to do so, the magic of the ritual would actually find Sardanis, buried deep within her prison. The smallest part of her consciousness was summoned into your trial. Once awakened, she began using the minds of those involved to craft her escape. The truth of the Scholia Arcana's founding, its true purpose, is a secret that has been passed down from Archsage to Archsage. We have many savants within our Order, those supremely gifted in the arts of alchemy or sagecrafting or scholarship. But there is a reason that Archsages are chosen according to their mastery of war magic, because one day Sardanis will return, and one must be prepared to face her. Since her awakening, Sardanis has been reaching out from her prison and possessing mages within our Order. Her goal was the creation of 3 elemental keys, the sun, storm, and frost stones that you hold now. We will use these keys exactly as Sardanis intended. We will free her, and I will kill her. The brilliant Savaladan Bloodgood led the founders to build the very grounds of the Scholia Arcana into a spell, the glyph that imprisons Sardanis. Let the magic guide you. Walk the grounds and place each key with the appropriate founder, and the spell will be undone. When Sardanis is free, join me at the center of the glyph. She will emerge, and I shall make my stand.
For so long I have anticipated this moment, to savor the sweet taste of freedom, and to destroy the legacy of those that imprisoned me. And I owe it all to you. From the beginning, you've played your part with a bright perfection, each step in harmony with my will. Fool. So much potential. It is a pity I have to kill you now. Archsage. What silly titles you children use. That wretch would have been a servant in the Dark Empyrean. But rest assured, he is safe now, deep within the very same spell that bound me, and he will rot there for all eternity. How eager you are! I'm the one who spent the last 7 centuries trapped within a prison. Very well. Until today, you've tasted but a glimmer of my power. Now behold the might of the Dark Empyrean!
You have done what no other member of our Order could. You have faced Sierra Sardanis and emerged victorious. After your trial of initiation, Jubal Calidus gave this to me. I realize now he meant for you to have it upon his death. The Scholia Arcana owes you everything, and are now yours to command, Archsage. With Savant Engar indisposed, running the day-to-day affairs of the chapter has fallen to me. The city's facilities are suitable for our use, and certain parts of it are not without their charms. In moments of solitude, I wonder, with recent events plaguing our mages so, will we survive these coming times?
My ship is free, and its course is yours to plot, my friends. Were it not Warsworn asking, I wouldn't sail such treacherous northern waters or set foot on an island so long forsaken. But for you, I'll go. I'll go. Captain, trader, and a friend of the Warsworn at your service. You'll find no taverns with warm fires or feather beds on that rock. Stones and bones and rot is all. The Stalwart, she's called. A worthy vessel. Some years back, I caught the eye of a pirate lord named Derries. Nearly burned, murdered, and thieved me out of business. I called on the Warsworn, and it took but 3 of them to hunt down Derries, recover my cargo, and save my hide. Whenever you wish it, friends, you need but give the word.
Look, that's the fortress over there. I wonder what will we find, and what Beeson has already found. I fear that he's already come and gone, and we still don't know what he wanted here. So much majesty, though now in ruins. Imagine what it must have been when all of this was glorious and new. We must find our way into the fortress. I'm certain that's where they'll be. I have wondered about them since we last spoke. They take the name from the legendary mage Farlong, but I do not know why. I know only his name as a foe of Aegon, son of Aemon, and I know the histories well. This is it. All Beeson's plans, written here in our own recorded history. The mural tells of the mage Farlong, who sought to make himself a king of Niskaru, and how Aegon thwarted him. Beeson thinks he will succeed where Farlong failed. And he just might. Because he could not learn what he needed to know anywhere else. Everything he needs is written here, down to the last detail. Beeson's minions call themselves Farlongi. As Beeson does now, the mage Farlong gathered cursed artifacts and used them to raise a host of lesser Niskaru. Do you see? Beeson follows Farlong's path at every step. I think we must. Farlong tried to free a Niskaru lord from its mountain prison. With such power behind him, he would have been unstoppable. As Beeson seeks to mimic Farlong, so we must match Aemon and stop him. A chaotic being of immense power. If it were loosed upon the world... But it must not. It mustn't. Yes, he did. The mystic hammer, forged by Aemon for the hands of his son Aegon. It alone could halt Farlong's spell and restore the Niskaru lord to his prison. I know of it, but not its location. But Delphric may be able to help with that. Return to Shieldring Keep. I will travel to Ironfast Keep in Detir and learn all I can. Meet me there. We didn't find him here, but we did, I think, find something he doesn't want us to know. Pray Mitharu we did not learn it too late. In truth, it's as much library as chapel, a place of memory. My mother, she described it so vividly. It seems he was a prince whose father squandered and lost his kingdom. He was raised, hunted, and a beggar. Then he found the Niskaru lord Kamazandu in its mountain prison. It whispered to him, said it could help him win back his birthright. That's how it began. The mystic hammer is among the few ancient relics named in our records. I am sure. Go to Shieldring Keep, where ancient Delphric can help you find it. I will be at Ironfast, learning what I can. When you have the hammer, find me there.
There you are. Is it time to return? There was no place safe for landing but here, I'm afraid. And that's a certain thing then, is it? I think we'll not see this scrap of shore again once we go. Off we go then!
As soon as I received news of your discoveries, I learned whatever I could of the Alpha Lord, Anru Beeson. He is indeed a powerful man, a member of the Orbacant, or he was, until he proposed using Niskaru in the war. He was laughed off the council, and then vanished, taking some of Rathier's most powerful mages with him. Sir Beeson somehow learned of this forgotten story and the mural depicting it on Eamon's Isle. Devious. Very devious. Beeson was among the powerful of Rathier before the power of Niskaru turned his head. If anyone can complete Farlong's work, it is Beeson. Trapped within a mountain? Can we be certain this isn't merely an old legend? But can we afford to take the chance? The names of those who sit on Rathier's ruling council are beyond secret. However, some old and substantial debts were owed me. What we are, what we once were, does nothing lie still in this world? We have our honor and our swords. Let us cling to that. Yes, I see. It should be in Aegon's tomb. Alas, pledge shield, none below Oathblade are permitted inside our sacred places. But this is easily solved. For your valor and honor, in the name of the First Sworn, I bestow upon you the rank of Oathblade. Take this as a token of the honor. Now, the tomb lies just south of Ulcerund. It opens only with this key. Proceed to Ironfast once you have the hammer. It is a curious fact. For her father, Aegon, Cerwyn built a grave fit for a king, while both she and Aemon, her father's father, vanished into the east and were lost to us. She died by treachery in Cluracon long ago. Cursed rings turned her comrades against her, and with her death, it is said, the age of the First Sworn came to an end. So many mysteries surround the founder of our order. Where he learned the secrets of forging and fighting, how he originally came to the Phalanx, where he went alone in his last days, traveling east beyond Cluracon's eastern mountains. Ordinarily, the rank is reserved for proven veterans of the field. There is also usually a ceremony, but that will have to wait, I'm afraid.
You have the remains of the hammer. It is... I should have expected this. It was forged in the Hall of the First Sworn. It must, I think, be reforged there. The hall is not far, only... I don't know what to do when we get there. The hall lies south through the canyons. Meet me there. He has gone to free the Niskaru Lord. Pray we are not too far behind to stop him. Not all our wisdom was left to gather dust on Eamon's Isle. I have learned the location of the Niskaru Lord's mountain prison. But first, we must deal with that hammer. That means the Hall of the First Sworn. They are powerful beyond anything you could imagine. This one was called Kamazandu, the Deceitful One. The text claimed the Arathi themselves imprisoned him in the mountain after he proved too clever to kill. We need it restored if we hope to defeat Beeson, and for that, I'm afraid, we must journey to the Hall of the First Sworn. I haven't been here since I was young. It is as full of old books and dusty scrolls as I remember. Legend tells it is there that Aemon was transformed from a prince to the first of the Warsworn. It became a meeting place of sorts in the time of the First Sworn. Yes, Time is short. The Hall of the First Sworn is south and east through the canyons. Meet me there when you are ready. I'm sorry for the way I left Ironfast. The last time I saw my mother was the day she set off for these ruins. She came here and never returned. I thought maybe... But we must be going. Records speak of a sacred passage that leads to the forge. They say he came to this place a prince, and left it sworn to war. How he entered the passage, what he learned there, none but he know. It's said that the way from the sacred passage to the forge opened only for Eamon, and at its end, he learned the secrets of the First Sworn. It's also said to have closed and sealed the day that he died. I owe you an explanation, don't I? When I was young, my father touched the hilt of a chaos-cursed dagger. The magic within it disfigured and diseased him. My mother spent her life delving into war-sworn past in search of a cure. She searched everywhere, until she came here. Thank you for listening. Yes, to reach the ancient forge, you must go through a sacred passage. Of course, I can't be certain. No one but Eamon himself has ever walked those halls. There's no hope. We've come all this way. For what? You and I are not Eamon. How can we ever hope to pass through that? Yes, but it can't be done. Try for yourself. Ancient magic bars the way. Look at it, how it shines. This is a weapon of legend. Held in Aegon's hands, it felled Niskaru by the score. But now we have our own legends to make. The Niskaru Lord Kamazondu is imprisoned in Cloudcrest Mountain in the Hollowlands. As Beeson weaves his spell, something called the Niskaru Lord's Crown will emerge. Are you listening? It is not truly a crown, but emanations of the Niskaru Lord itself, as it emerges from the mountain. It cannot escape all at once, so if we can injure these first projections with the Mystic Hammer, we can close the door Beeson seeks to open. Cloudcrest Mountain looks over the southern Hollowlands, west of here. I will go to Ironfast Keep for reinforcements and meet you there. He plans to free a Niskaru Lord, and we hope to stop him. Mitharu help us. In the end, he but dreamed a nightmare. But Beeson might make the nightmare real. They both suffered and died because the knowledge and memory of our order was squandered and lost. I will not forget that. But I can be content that their deaths were not in vain either. A Niskaru Lord is an immense being of pure chaos. Kamazondu's nature is that of great cunning and persuasion. Be wary and believe nothing it says. The first emanations of the Niskaru Lord, emerging from, if I read correctly, the mountain itself. That's the first stage of the spell. Let's not find out what happens after that. It worked before when Aegon fought Farlong. Let's hope that it works for you. Yes, it lies south along the Hollowlands. I will be there with reinforcements. Make yourself ready. This will be a trial like none you've known. Look, Beeson has carved his own way into the mountain, and that will be our route as well. Let's go. Yes, the crown will emerge at Cloudcrest's summit. That's where Beeson will be.
What have you done, you fool? Do you think this war can be won without me? Mortals cannot triumph against such malice. We've fought this war for more than 10 years. We could fight 100 more, and for nothing. I could have ended it. I could have promised 1,000 years of peace and protection under my rule. With Kamazondu at my side, and a Niskaru host at my command, who could threaten us? No one. I am sick of the doctrines of Rathir. Power must be hidden, guide from an unseen source. Cowards. Great power must reveal itself and stretch its wings. Follow me? I would have freed it, of course, and Farlong was sure the web of spells would... I could feel its fire coursing in my veins. We were nearly one voice, one mind. What difference who follows whom? But you have severed the bond. It would have given me power, the power to save us all. And you took that from me. For that, you will pay.
Well, little one, it seems I won't be stretching my limbs so soon. It is a shame that the mage proved so feeble an instrument of my will. Would that I had a better, stronger one. That is true. What a shame. I was nearly free after so long. But the seal is cracked, and my mind may now wander. Imagine what I could do if I had an instrument through which to act as well. Your glory is bright, little one, but in less than a blink of my eye, your candle will flicker and fade. A whiff of smoke, then nothing. But I will be here still. I will chuckle when you die. And when I am freed, I will laugh until the seas boil and the mountains shake.
I saw it all from over there. You were like one of the first sworn in living flesh. When you're ready, head back to the Hall of the First Sworn. Don't keep us waiting there, all right? Dead, right over there. Aegon himself would have been impressed. Kamazondu is restored to its prison, thanks to you. Yes, to the hall. Just come, you'll see. I don't know how you forged it or what magic it contains, but I do know it worked. I saw it for myself.
You have done great deeds. You have shined brightly as Caerwyn's blade and cleared the dust from our most glorious past. You have felled foes beyond imagining, and stayed true and sworn to war. Therefore, I proudly bestow upon you the high and treasured rank of True Sworn. With one hand, we remain sworn to war in the noble mercenary's creed. With the other, we shall keep watch and strike at every Niskaru threat. That such a madman exists proves only that there can be others. One or two rare souls are awarded the rank in a lifetime. Mine was earned saving the Order from schism and disarray. But that was years ago. When the Crystal War truly ends, a keep will be established there in Cluricon. Most of our ranks will come back west, however. Though the old keeps will fill, somehow I do not foresee idle hands. Something tells me Niskaru will be found, and we will fight them. I am an old soldier. I have seen a great deal, but I am humbled to be standing here.
We did it. You did it. You were like another Aegon. I still can't believe it. One of the First Sworn stands before me, and I can call him friend. Did he truly wish to use Niskaru to win the war, I wonder? Or had chaos simply twisted his mind? You've more than earned it. I know. I was there.
We meet again, soldier. Congratulations. You have done remarkable things. The world is better off without such men. I knew her mother well. I think that perhaps Gwyn has always been a hero, waiting for her tale to commence. You could not have found a better companion against this foe. Many times I have passed these ruins. In my youth, I explored them often, but I never imagined this could be here. From all I have heard, the title is well earned. Bear it proudly.
I've come all the way from Cluricon to see this True Sworn. The tales we've heard of your deeds, of Gwyn's deeds, and it seems that the tales are true. So he thought to end the war, did he? I wake and sleep upon the front, and I've never dreamt such a foolish dream. I've known Gwyn a good many years. Made pledge shield on the same day, she and I. Always knew she had greatness in her. And to think old Demon himself once walked this hall. That's it then. Looks old for a new-made thing. The light upon it. Swear I've never seen anything like it. Call me a Castellan without a keep. Within the greater army is a smaller war-sworn force, and that force answers to me. That's a title of honor. See you keep it free of tarnish or shame. Where there's war-sworn. Our way is the soldier's life. It gets under your skin and into your blood, and there it stays.
Good work, old friend. Now that was a display. We saw the fight in the end, though we were too late and too far to lend a hand. It's quite old, I'm sure. Bit dusty for my taste. Now there's a feather for your cap, and well deserved at that.
Don't bother me. I'm waiting for a passenger, some suicidal idiot. Can't be caught chatting. I want to make a good impression. I captained my first ship when I was no bigger than my papa's knee, and promptly crashed it into the dock, sinking 3 vessels with 1 wreck. It was then that I knew my destiny was to be a sailor. From that day forward, I spent my life on the water. 20 ships in 20 years. It must be some kind of record. He's as elusive as a north wind, a phantom with a skull for a face and fins for feet. Every sailor yearns for the chance to face dead Kel. He and his hangmen go where they please, masters of the Frostbreak. Bloodgrin, the Whispering Witch and the Baronet, fiends and killers, all of them. They give sailors a bad name. In my experience, islands are places you visit in order to escape torment and certain death. Gallows End is one destination I will avoid on future voyages. Unless I crash there, of course. Well, tie me up and drag me under. So you're the one the Navy's hooked into finding Gallows End and killing dead Kel. It's suicide! Really? Ask the others. Oh wait, you can't. But don't worry about them. Like my mother said, don't weep for the fallen, even if they could hear you. They wouldn't care. You know, the other applicants. Dead, all of them. All of the ones they found, that is. Plenty of others just vanished. One poor fellow was found cut into teeny tiny pieces. They needed a bucket to pull all of him from the surf. But don't you worry, we'll have a fine voyage. He's the worst of the worst. A villain who truly enjoys the pain he inflicts. He's a slippery one, though. Not even death can catch dead Kel. I'd love to be the one to bring him in. Maybe then I'd finally get some respect. It is the mysterious island fortress of dead Kel and his crew. Why? Do you know how to get there? Because I have no idea. I was hoping to figure it out as we go, but I'm starting to wonder if that's a good idea. Flattery'll get you nowhere, unless I've had too much to drink. Then I'm afraid to say it'll get you all sorts of strange places. I shall not elaborate. Tari and I are ready when you are. Only what you want with you in case of an emergency. There aren't many merchants where we're headed. He's the fine first mate on the ground next to me. Words aren't his strength, although I'd be pressed to say what is exactly. I found him after I was forced to maroon my last first mate on a desert island. That man became obsessed with me, probably because we had sex. A lot. Seeing as I don't believe in navigation, I'd have to say no. Not at the moment. Not to worry. Once you've wrecked enough ships, you get the hang of it. Take all the time you need. Tari and I will be here.